Oh, welcome back, everyone.
And we are live. Welcome to another episode of Peace Pipe Podcast. What's up, X? Where were you last episode?
Where was I? Man, I was getting baked as fuck, forgetting about all my problems.
That's cool. That's cool.
I
What about
actually
you?
lied. I got drunk as shit. Crossfaded as hell, basically.
Well, we got drunk too, and we tried to call you, but we were assuming you're fucking passed out somewhere.
Yeah, no, I was asleep.
Try to get the party going, but we were there. Yeah, now we're here. What about you, Anthony? How have you been?
Same old shit. Another work week, bullshit here and there, but that's same old shit like always.
Oh yeah,
What about you, David? How was your week?
uh, it, it's been okay. Can't complain.
Yeah,
I
what's
mean,
up?
I could ask for more money, but it is what it is. So,
Yep. On
the
to another.
best you can do, the best you can do is keep trying.
what's up, Anthony?
Yeah, on to another episode. So, what you guys feeling
Mhm.
like talking about today?
Mm, I mean, we can probably talk about how it was living in different places when we were younger.
Hmm. Are you
Sure.
originally from Nevada, David?
No,
Nope.
oh, never mind.
Where are you originally from, David?
So I was born in Germany. I grew up a little bit in Texas, uh, California, and then here.
Jesus, all around the world. Well, I'm
I
fortunate.
mean,
I've only grew up in two different places here in California, SoCal.
what part of SoCal? LA, right?
Boyle Heights, East LA, SoCal, and the ghetto. But there's great culture comes from the ghetto, especially from SoCal. So
I was in
could not want to be anywhere else.
I was in Oildale and Bakersfield.
Oh, you're like more northern. Bakersfield's all right too. Not bad. It's a nice little city.
Hmm.
What about you guys? Where you been? Where'd you grow up at?
Oh, honestly, for a good bit of my life, I grew up in Louisiana, specifically a small town called Greensburg, Louisiana. I went
Green.
to elementary school from, I want to say, pre-K, kindergarten, all the way up to like second grade. And then I moved down to Texas, and after that, there for a good bit, for a good little bit at first. Then we went to Oklahoma. I lived there for a good bit. I honestly don't remember what part of Oklahoma. Um, and then I moved to Texas, moved back to Texas, and then lived everywhere basically. I lived in way too many damn towns.
Damn. So you went from the South, Louisiana, Texas, and then you shot up to Oklahoma.
Yep. And then went back down to Texas.
How's Oklahoma like? Is it real like how movies and TV show like real fucking hardcore redneck people and shit like that?
When, from what I remember, no, not really. I remember my uncle was, I think he was still working a good job at the time. I don't remember what it was, but for the most part, no, it wasn't like that. It was actually just a lot more calm. I mean, we were always riding around we were riding around on the four wheeler, on going fishing, going swimming, all that sort of stuff. Um, and from what I remember, it was pretty good. I mean, I have a lot of good memories there.
So coming from
When
the
you
South
were in,
to Oklahoma, was it more still like a southern vibe or like like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was because it's like right there from
Oh, it's like
Texas.
right on the side of Texas too. So technically, it's still considered the South, huh?
Yeah, at least that's what I think, because there is a lot of rednecks. There's a lot of country folk. There's a lot of Southerners from like Mississippi, from Louisiana, from Texas. That lives up there, you know?
That reminds me of a movie I've seen. Have you ever seen this movie? It's called the Town That Dreaded Sundown.
No.
It's
I
about
think I've seen the cover for it.
yeah, it's about a town that's right next to Arkansas and Texas, and there's a little town called Texarkana.
Hmm.
And it was a horror movie that came out in the 70s in '76, and it's such a big thing for people down in that town. At a certain time of year, around Halloween, they have like a live showing of it and shit like that. And they actually remade that movie too in 2014. I think the old school one was better. The new one was kind of lame. The new one was kind of like played on the fact that like the movie was uh, a part of really what happened, and someone like did copycat murders and shit like that. But I always thought that too, like if that was a real story or not.
Hmm. That actually sounds
So
pretty
when you were in
interesting.
Oklahoma, did you have like? I'm just curious, like, because it's different here. Like, you might get like an earthquake notice or something. So like tornadoes and shit. Have you been through a bunch of warnings or shit?
I honestly don't remember. I just know we were inside most of the time. I think we did have a good bit of like real good rains, and then there was some that was like pretty bad. But I don't think I really went through a tornado. I know there was a tornado around the area I lived in Texas, or at least like like an hour or so. But still there.
Isn't Texas is still a part of the tornado alley, right?
It depends, honestly,
Right.
because I mean Texas is a big state, really. So you have different regions, and then with that, you have like different kind of weather. Some parts like it barely rains. Some parts it rains a lot, or you'll get a lot of tornadoes and stuff. Um, I know when I lived in Fort Worth or Dallas Fort Worth or DFW, um, what's it called? I know we get really bad rain and then we get hail, but I don't think it went as far as a tornado going on. I know it happened like a good bit away. It hit a highway basically, and it fucked up like all the like stores and shit that were around that area.
God damn.
Hmm.
It's crazy the parts of America that have the tornadoes. Say Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota are the most prone to have tornadoes. Damn, that's some shit.
Yeah,
It's not even a straight line. It's kind of like a weird little area where they just have more prone to it.
South Dakota's pretty far fucking north, right?
Yeah, it is. To think about it from all the way to South Dakota, all the way down to Texas is a big fucking part of America to cover.
yeah.
You know, in Texas, have you ever heard of the people saying that they seen these fucking centipedes that are like 6 feet long?
Yeah. No, that I mean, yeah, I
Shit,
I know people that have them as pets.
centipedes? Yeah, centipedes are weird, and they're poisonous too, huh?
So so I don't know if you ever watched one eat. It's really cool, and you should check this out. I actually could suggest the video for you to watch for it. He feeds it a rat. So the centipede grabs the rat and it bites it, and the saliva just like it venomates it, but the saliva like melts the meat and the tissue and the skin of the rodent, and it slurps it up. It's very unique.
Beautiful choice of words there, David. But I'm cracking a cold one, so if you guys want to join me, I don't know which one you guys got a beer on hand.
Negative.
Mm.
I
No,
got my orange soda tonight.
on soda, like
It's gonna
that,
be water for me.
like that Keenan and Kel shit. You ever seen that shit? When that kid that likes orange soda, and then he goes on a he goes on a trip and he gets a suitcase full of 2 liters of orange soda.
Wait, when? No.
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Blast from the past, huh?
What do
Anyway,
you guys think about the hat idea?
That'll be great to make a hat. I want to
Yeah.
how many subscribers we can get, entice them. We should say we're leaving a free bag of weed in the hat or something, so it's make people want it some more.
I don't
I'm
know about all
gonna
that.
tape it inside and shit.
It's just gonna be a picture of a bag of weed. It's not gonna be actually a bag of weed.
You do that.
Yeah.
This is what an eighth looks like. This is what a quarter looks like.
There's exactly enough sticker for it to weigh as much as an eighth of weed.
Oh yeah. I think that'd be cool. If we went with that idea, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
So what I was telling X was my idea was to get the logo, the three skulls on it, and then have Peace Pipe Podcast around it, and then on the sides have EST for estimate, and then 2025 for just 25.
Yeah, all right. Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, back to the centipede things. That made me think of centipedes are fucking weird. I talk about centipedes right now because I seen this fucking weird video where I seen this weird ass video, right, where it was centipede, a scorpion, and a fucking you seen that shit?
Where they fight each other?
And the what?
The centipede, a scorpion.
Is that when they fight each other?
Yeah, when they put them in the same cage.
That's fucked up, dude. That is fucked up. That's fucked up. Don't watch it, X. Don't support that shit. Don't even look it up. Don't support that shit. Don't look it up.
You ever seen that video too, where the one guy's like, "Fuck everybody"?
I've seen a lot.
I love reptiles. I just love my snakes. Fuck everybody. You ever seen that one, David?
I've seen a lot of shit, dude.
That one makes me crazy.
I've had that dude on my show way back in the day, the one that does the battling and all that, and he got roasted bad.
Damn.
Yeah. Especially when he was like doing like
anyways, you know,
versus the leopard gecko. Dude, that shit's fucked up.
See, if it's two of the same kind, that's cool. I mean, just to see what would happen, because they're all little fuckers. Because in the end, they like to kill all of them. Like,
yeah,
that's the way I see it. You know what I mean? It's crazy to see what fuckers will actually survive. I think in that one was a scorpion. Pretty sure. But you should look it up actually. But you know, in Hawaii, they got fucking scorpions. Or no, not scorpion. They have the centipedes out there too, and they're like little black ones, and they're poisonous too.
Mm.
And these motherfuckers come in people's houses and shit. I used to know this one white guy, right? He was really, really cool as dude. He was like a holistic dude, though. He liked that. You ever meet people that like stones, like crystals and weird shit like that? Yeah. This fool had he was good people. What's that? Brian. He was really cool, and he was 40 years old, and he looked like he was in his 20s. Looked fucking great. But this guy, he just like weird, like holistic things with him. He liked to take mushrooms and like he's like clearing my spirit. And he's like, oh, I fast, and he talks about tripping balls on like fucking mushrooms and shit. But yeah, he's good people. But he would talk about he would live in Hawaii, and then he came out here, and then he a few times. He's like, oh, last time I left for Hawaii, I gave all my shit away. What do you mean give all your shit away? He said, well, I took most of the things I wanted. But like this shit you can't take, so you gotta give things away. And he's like, at one point I started giving everything away, and he's like, well, fuck it, I don't need that much to take in me anyways. Like, man, that's pretty fucking weird way of thinking. I mean, I guess hippie shit. But yeah, he told me living out there is at one point he was hanging out one day with his homie, and they were taking acid, and then out of nowhere they fucking seen a centipede, and it bit one of them. And he's like, or like stung him or whatever the fuck they do. And he started tripping out. He's like, what the fuck? It's poisonous. That could be bad. Because, you know, when you ever heard that, like, when you get bit by poisonous things that kill you, it's like the same thing. Like, if you're going on a trip, like on acid, it's because it's your body's defense of, like, to try to keep you alive and keep you, like, cognitive, but then you start losing your mind slowly. It's like, they say DMT releases into your body when your body feels like it's dying. That's why some people say too, like when they have a near-death experience, it's because the DMT releases into their body naturally and makes them hallucinate and have a spiritual experience. You ever hear that shit, Dave? Come on now, you know you used to hear some shit like that.
No, I don't know because like once again, I like venomous shit, so I can't say the same about poison. It's like it's totally different. Um, pretty sure though. I mean, yeah. I mean, aren't there people that get stung by bees like so many fucking times and like they somehow live and they're not supposed to? Like,
Yeah, that
You
bitch.
know,
That,
I heard of that. Heard of that. I've heard that on a video where there is a village out there. I forgot where in like what part of the world, but as kids they will go up to like beehives and they'll fuck with the beehives so the bees will like sting them and shit so that when they get older, when the bee will sting them, it doesn't do shit. You know, like he
yeah,
won't feel it because he's used to it. And with and that, you know, they like to run a lot, so they have like I guess they have like huge lungs, so they can run for fucking miles without like breaking a sweat, without being tired. And all they had to do is like all they do is they drink like one handful of water, and then they're good for the rest of the day or whatever the fuck.
damn, dude, that's hardcore. But I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. I've seen it like half, like
you
not
do.
in person, but I've seen it on the video. So it's just crazy
Yeah,
too. But
it is.
it's like the other one, like where they put their hand in that fucking glove and it's like full
Mm-hmm.
of blood ants,
oh, the
and then they
bullet
get
ants.
fucked. Dude,
Shit.
fuck that. Like, I'd be
No,
like,
fuck no.
if that's what manhood is, like, this is full.
You know, fuck. I think I know who you're talking about. I forgot his fucking name, but I know
Devo
who you're
get it.
talking about.
One of my favorite YouTubers that I like to watch sometimes. He still has shit here and there, but he's the old school. You ever heard of LA Beast?
LA Beast?
Yeah, LA Beast.
No.
This guy, he was one of the ones. He likes to do challenges where he eat like he ate like 100 packs of fucking Reese's, or like he drank a fucking Pepsi, a Crystal Pepsi from the 80s, like from the 80s. He drank it. Like he does some
Yeah.
weird shit. But one of the things he did is he went to that part of the world where they did the gloves of the bullet ants, and he put his hands in them. That fool was a beast.
Hmm.
Look at him when you find him. That's LA Beast.
Oh, okay. Hold up.
Yeah, you don't believe in that type of shit too. Like I know for a long time people always had the stories of the poisonous frogs. You can
What
lick
the fuck?
frogs and hallucinate. You ever hear about that shit?
Yeah.
There's actually multiple. One, it's in the Sahara Desert or some shit like that. That's the one that if you do that, it's like an ayahuasca thing because you know when you do ayahuasca, like that's pretty much DMT, but it's from a root, and then they grab another plant and they mix them together, and it's because the root itself it doesn't make you hallucinate. You have to put the enzymes from another plant or some shit, technical shit, right? You got to mix them together for you to be able to actually hallucinate on it. And that's the same way with those frogs. You had to find them, and you had to take another plant or some other shit, and it'll make you hallucinate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard about the poison dart frogs, but like now they breed them so much that you can get them and touch them, and you're not gonna get harmed from it at all. Like, pretty sure if you go now in the middle of the Amazon jungle when you find one, I would
Oh
not.
yeah. That reminds me of
Yeah.
the thing I seen. Right? You ever seen Do you ever remember the Vice channel back in the day, like on YouTube? You ever seen that shit?
Vice?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's like they have a lot of different documentaries. Back in the day, it was pretty interesting too, because like I don't think they have it no more. I think it went away, but it was like a lot of controversial things. Like they go on like to war, like gang cities, and like, or they go on and they watch people show people how the drug market is, or like the black markets of guns and shit like that. And sometimes they would have famous people, like they have Michael K. Williams on a couple episodes, and he was showing people how like people made wax back in the days. This is like in the early 2000s, like 2008, 9, something like that. But one of the dudes, he used to have a show called Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, and it's this creepy looking white dude with like this like weird glasses, right? And he likes to go around and do drugs, but like and find different things like that's interesting about the history of the drugs. Like he did this one about PCP and how people knew how to make it because the complexity of it being made in and an at-home lab was like really hard to do unless you knew like the formula for it. So he like tracked down the original families that made PCP in like the LA area back in the 70s and shit like that. And a lot of them said like they don't want to tell people where they got it from, but it was like really a secret. And because the process of them making it, like they showed, oh, I did it in the lab, but to know the process on the streets to find these chemicals, you don't know how to do it unless you talk to someone that knows what they're talking about. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
interesting. And one of them he did is he went to the forest and he found another frog. And this frog, he's like, oh, it's supposed to be, get you high or whatever. So he goes and finds it. And the process for these people in the middle of the Amazon forest or whatever the fuck, they find the frog, they catch it, and then they put it like, they get two sticks in the ground and they put its arm and leg like this, and they fucking tie his arms and legs to the sticks and they poke it with the stick and they fuck with it to make it angry, and it secretes this the venom that comes out of the sides of them. So they scrape a part of a stick on it and get the venom off, and then they go to the person and then they burn a little twig and make a little wound on it, like a little burn mark, and they get the venom and they rub it in the burn mark. And these guys like act like some crazy heroin addicts. They start like rolling on the ground, all passing out. And then the dude does it and he's like, oh, tripping out. And then he comes back from it and he's like, it felt like if I did an opium. And he's like, yeah, that's some heroin shit. That's weird because like the animals, yeah, they do the same thing, but they have different effects. It's crazy that how shit like that can happen. Is there anything like that for snakes, Davey?
I mean, you could drink venom and live, and the only way you would die. So it's like poison's different. If you drink a glass of poison, you're gonna get fucked up from it. If you drink a glass of venom, you're not gonna get fucked up unless you have a cut somewhere down your throat or inside your stomach, and then you can envenomate yourself. With poison, it could just be on your skin, it could enter your mouth, it could, there's multiple ways of getting the poison to get into your body. Now with venom, the snake literally has to hit your bloodstream to envenomate you. So once it bites you, I mean, it's contacted with your blood, so then you get venomated. But if you would drink it, unless your shit's cut up, I mean, in your stomach, then you would die. But you should be okay. I wouldn't recommend it. Like,
So
don't go buy snake
there's
venom.
no snake venom that's out there that'll make you hallucinate or some shit like that.
No. There's a dude, and he's like Middle Eastern, and he drinks the King Cobra's venom, dude, right from the glass. And
Oh
he
shit!
says
What
it
the
tastes
fuck?
like shit. He says it tastes completely like shit. Lives through everything.
Probably still
Oh, what
shit.
the fuck?
So
How long
unless
was he
you-
doing that for?
I don't know. He's some kind of. I don't fucking know.
I've heard about it.
So you just don't. Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the thing about people that have? You ever met someone that has more than 5 fingers on their hand?
5 fingers on their one hand.
No, they had. Of course, yes, everyone. More.
Yeah, I've heard of people like that. I've never met someone like that though.
6-finger hand. Okay, never mind.
No.
You got a story? Let's hear it.
Yeah.
No, I just wondered if you heard the story, but no, it's like the people say that the people that have 6 fingers have some weird bloodlines, like that, like ties someone to like royal families or some shit like that, like Saudi Arabian or like New England royalty or some shit like that.
Nah. See, I never heard of that.
No,
That's new to me, honestly.
not to sound fucked up, but I've heard of circus too. But I don't know if that comes from royalty. Like, there's nothing wrong. I mean, honestly, if you were born with 6 toes, who fucking cares? If you're born with 6 fingers and you could play basketball or football or whatever and live your daily life, like,
Yeah, whatever. What if that motherfucker was like 7 foot tall and had fucking 6 fingers on each hand, like 7 toes?
Like on each foot or just on one?
See, now shit's getting real because of you.
7 toes all together. Both are weird.
And fuck, man, I don't know what to say. I mean, congrats, I guess. I don't know.
I've never
Alien,
done super
some kind of
tall.
alien. That's what I would think. Or he's some kind of what we talked about kind of last week or last time was he's a fucking clone, dude. Or someone made him. He was a laboratory fucking genetic of someone's old DNA and then mutated him with some kind of 7-finger fucker and made him.
They made their own 7-fingered
Oh
fucker.
yeah, you missed the last episode we were talking about clones.
Oh yeah.
Cloning.
Hmm.
Do you think that's real? And I brought up the point too. Well, we're going back on subjects again, but it's interesting enough to tell homeboy here.
Okay. Well, let me answer your question with a question. All right.
All right. I didn't ask you a question, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'll answer your question, but I'm
Yeah.
like real curious. Would you want to be cloned?
Fuck no.
No. What about you, Rambo?
Nope.
No. Neither do I, but just think about it,
Nope.
Huh.
Because
Okay, let me explain something. And this is what I never could understand. And maybe you two could break this for me. But I could understand the whole like concept, I guess, of cloning yourself, and then you kind of technically live forever. But let me explain one small problem with that measurement is that when they clone me and my future me lives and he clones himself and his future, I still fucking die. So fuck my clones. If I die, they die.
Mm. Yeah.
I wouldn't want that because what if that motherfucker does some bad shit and like you think it's me?
Fuck. Yeah, no, for real. What if he like does some fucked up shit and then next thing you know you're sitting in a cell for the rest of your life?
Oh, this reminds me of
That's-
this movie. I seen this movie, right? I seen this movie about it's about Earth. We have the technology to clone people, and they only let you do it if you're gonna die and you want your family to have the clone with them after you die. So what's about this lady? She's like in her 20s. So she goes and clones herself because she's like, oh, you have cancer, you're gonna die. She's like, fuck. So she gets cloned herself, and then she starts introducing the family to herself. And then at one point, she finds that she's not gonna die, and the whole movie's like set up to like when that happens to people, they have to go and either one of them has to die, either the clone or the real person. And if one of them doesn't, and if they don't both agree, they're gonna have a death match to the death. They're gonna go try to kill each other. You ever seen that shit? It's crazy too, because at one point, like the clone's family, the clone is nicer with the family than it is with the real bride, and then the bride's man leaves her for the clone, and then everything in her life starts getting like crazier and crazier. Yeah, that movie was fucking crazy. The premise of it was pretty good.
Oh yeah. I think we lost X for a second.
Did you go, X?
My bad. Went to go get a water.
I need me a water. I need to pour me
a
some
water.
Vodka in my water bottle.
All right. Sipping on Grey Goose right now. No, but what's the name of that movie?
I don't know. I forget what it was, but it was a pretty good movie.
Oh, damn.
So the other part was, do you believe in now in doppelganger?
Doppelganging?
I feel like this is.
Bro, let me tell you something about doppelganging, all right?
Okay, it says doppelganger. Don't say ganging. So just
Okay, doppelganger.
Suspect.
Okay, let me tell you something about that, right? I do believe in that because I had an ex. She had a best friend that had like 4 brothers. And she was like, you know what's crazy? She walks up to me. She's like, you know what's crazy? I'm like, what's up? She's like, you look exactly like my brothers. I'm like, what do you mean? So she shows me a picture of her 4 fucking brothers. I think the oldest looked about 13. The youngest was like about 4 or 5, I think. But I looked at this picture, right? And tell me why these 4 motherfuckers looked exactly like me. Had my face, my hair, everything, bro.
Did you
4
question your,
motherfuckers, man. Like, how does that work?
You are related to these people, I believe.
Did you ask your dad?
Dude.
He probably
No.
got drunk one night, and that's why he doesn't drink no more.
But over there in Texas, though? Nah.
No,
No.
your dad's gonna come murder me.
No. No, but it's like, it's weird because not only I've seen a person there, but a lot of people will show me a picture of like a son or a cousin or a friend, and they look like me. So I'm just fucking confused, man.
I think it's possible. You ever seen that? I've seen this one story of these triplets, 3 kids that look exactly alike,
Right.
all adopted out, and they lived in different states when they got adopted as kids, and then when they went to college, they all ended up in the same state together, going to the same college, and
What the fuck?
and ended up finding each other. Yeah, that was another good movie too. I think it's pretty crazy the way all that shit ended up. To. I don't want to spoil it. End up finding that movie.
No, see,
No.
that's crazy.
So, are you guys familiar with the new King of the Hill revival that's gonna happen?
Dude,
Yeah, dude.
I can't.
the guy got killed, right?
Oh no, we're talking about the characters. Yeah, but they're gonna have a reboot. They're gonna have a new series that's gonna be the King of the Hill, but it's they're all older. So like Bobby's older, Hank and Peggy are old as shit, and it's supposed to be like modernized and shit.
So, dude, okay, June 2nd, the guy that plays Hank, and I think this is why they're doing it, and he also plays John Redcorn. He was found stabbed or shot inside of his house, dead.
Yeah, I heard about that shit, bro. He got shot. Him and his neighbor got into
Yes.
like a real heated argument. Yeah, in San Antonio, bro. In San Antonio, Texas. He got shot and killed. Him and his neighbor got into a really bad argument, and I guess it got real heated to where the neighbor pulled a gun on him and fucking shot him. And then when the ambulance came and picked him up, after a while, he was presumed dead.
And
Yeah.
that's why there's the new King in the Hill.
I can't wait to see that shit.
Oh,
There's been a lot of
no,
leaks years ago.
because if anything, the whole the announcement for the King of the Hill reboot happened before he got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I've seen it though.
the last guy that played John Redcorn, he died too in '96 in a car accident. So then the new guy too, he's dead now too.
Damn.
What are you
Have
trying
you
to
guys
say?
heard it?
Earth?
Are you guys even excited for the new King of the Hill or no? You guys don't give a shit.
Oh hell yeah, man. I've been wondering if they were gonna do a fucking reboot of that show for a while.
Bob's Burgers. That's what I want. Yeah.
Bob's Burgers? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I like
It's
Bob's.
like a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss with Bob's Burgers for me.
Those are one of the shows I like to put on, like with my kids when I'm just at home doing things, and then I just have it on, and I can glance up and see like, oh yeah, it's some funny shit going on. Like I don't have to worry about anything weird going on. It gets kind of sketchy sometimes, but that show's pretty kid friendly.
Yeah. I would watch that shit on like regular TV, Adult Swim. I watched that shit. I was a little kid. So
Adult Swim changed so much. It used to be great.
it has, man. Over the years, it really has. I still remember when they would show Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
Dude, that show is awesome, bro. I like watching that, and I like watching Family Guy.
Probably my favorite go-to is gonna be The Simpsons. The Simpsons, like not the new ones. The new ones suck. I probably season 2 to like season 14 is like the golden years of The Simpsons.
Hell yeah.
I don't
No,
care. It's whatever the wife wants. That's what I'm happy with.
hell yeah. What's like the one thing y'all watch the most?
Dude, we've been Bob's Burgers and Practical Jokers.
Mm,
I
speaking
thought
of,
about
Oh, I
doing
don't know,
like,
like pedophile or some shit.
yeah, speaking of that show, what's going on with that, man?
I don't know, we're on season 3.
Uh, damn, bro. From what I heard, one of the cast members was like exposed for like being a pedophile or something, or some fucking weirdo.
I have no
PDF
idea.
file.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
some crazy shit.
Fucking weirdos.
No, I never. My brother watched that show all the time. I never really could get into it. I was always watching Family Guy, um, fucking The Simpsons, and then like random shit afterwards.
I'd say Mr. Pickles was my favorite.
Mr. Pickles. That show is fucking weird, man. I remember watching that
You
shit.
remember
The
that,
fucking,
Anthony?
Fucking hell, what is it?
oh,
You got
oh,
you.
shit.
Are
Oh,
you on your
shit.
Are you on your laptop or are you on your phone?
I'm on my laptop. Mr. Pickle.
Yeah, it's a crazy show, man. I don't know. Should I tell them or should we let
Yeah.
them?
Then whatever, it
So-
don't even matter.
So Mr. Pickles was an adult cartoon, right? It was about a dog, and it was about a dog named Mr. Pickles, and the dog happened to be a fucking
Devil's Pig.
demon from hell. Yeah.
Yeah, devil man.
Oh, it makes sense
Oh,
now, doesn't it?
dude,
It just
dude.
lines up.
Dude, he would do so much fucked up shit, and the episodes themselves were so fucking random. There was few that were funny as shit, man, but most of the time it was fucking weird.
He would mutilate people, wear their body parts, act like them.
And I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen the cult one, or I've seen the cult one. I've seen the I don't know if that was the same episode where their son Tommy just happened to get like huge fucking tits, and then the random fucking dude was like, "Hey, good morning, Tommy," and then he's like, "Damn."
It was a funny show.
Yeah, it was fucking weird but funny. No, man. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is where it's at, man.
Oh, that's just dope. I like that. Meatball.
Yeah. Fucking Meatwad, Master Shake, and Frylock, bro.
Probably my favorite is fucking Master Shake.
Yeah. No, mine would be Meatwad, man. I gotta go with Meatwad.
That's good. Take.
Yeah. And then, you know, of course, you can't forget their bitch ass neighbor, Carl. Was that his name? Carl?
Yeah.
Oh, bitch ass dude.
Those funky ass sweats he was
That shitty ass pool he got.
Used to be so different.
Dude. Remember when
That.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That dude's a fucking pervert, bro. You remember when Master Shake was all black? Like he got bit by a vampire or some shit. And in the morning he was like a brown cup with grills, fucking afro and shit. That was fucking funny, man.
Shake.
Fucking Master Shake, bro. The fucking idiot, man. Funny dude, though. I think another good episode that I remember is when they were talking about this was it's stupid, but they were like trying to find, they were like looking for this one rapper, but one moment he's a bug, the next he's like a kid or some bullshit. You remember that?
I don't think so.
No, they killed this guy. They killed this rapper, and this rapper made a deal with the devil to like come back. You know, so he like they killed this dude 4 different fucking times, or 3 fucking different times until he's like,
Did he
yeah, I
come
don't
back
want
as
to
a?
do this no
Did
more.
he come back as a cow?
Yeah, he came back as
Yeah.
a fucking cow.
Yeah, I remember now.
Looking good as show, man. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab my charger.
You got a topic you want to dive into, Anthony?
I'm trying to think about something. Oh, you know what's a good topic I was thinking about? What is your favorite old school scary movie? I know you got something.
Okay. I would have to say the original Exorcist.
The original Exorcist?
Yeah.
That one's pretty fucked up and scary.
Especially when I was like 10. Yeah.
You remember when they caught, what is it, that one dude, not Ted Bundy, the other fucking guy, Jeffrey Dahmer. He said that he would like to watch The Exorcist while he would murder people and shit.
Creepy fucker.
That shit.
Oh, that's some fucking weird shit.
You know what's another fucking scary ass, and they have more than one story? Hellraiser. You ever seen Hellraiser?
Yeah,
I've
think
seen
so.
the first movie.
The first 2 were not that scary, but then they start getting real fucking crazy. Like, especially the one like I think the 3rd or the 4th one, where they talk about how the little box was made and shit. That one's fucking crazy.
Not gonna lie, I know it's not really old school, but for me, it would be Saw, like the whole series of Saw.
Fucking lame.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was that Jeepers Creepers, the first 2.
Whoa, that's not even in the scary category, bro. Horror movie.
Fucking. Ellie, look, I was a kid when I watched these fucking things. All right, so I was Now I can watch them. I don't give a fuck. I think the Evil Leprechaun. I think that one.
Oh, the Leprechaun?
Yeah.
My favorite movie out of all those is Leprechaun in the Hood. You ever seen that shit?
Yeah.
That shit is fucking funny. I
What
watched
the
it.
fuck?
Damn, that shit's hella funny. So in the beginning, they find his little ass because he's all frozen and he's like a statue and he has a gold chain on him and he has a bunch of coins and all kinds of gold around him and shit. And it's like in the 70s or something. And it's fucking Ice-T and he's like crawling through some place and it's like real dusty. I think it's like a building or something. And then he crawls in there and he's like, oh shit. And he started picking up all the gold coins. It's mainly coins. And he has like the gold necklace. He's like, I'm gonna grab that shit. So he kicks it off and he comes alive. And then they get down and he's like, oh shit. And then that's why Zaffra, he pulls out a bat out of Zaffra. He's like, come on, you little motherfucker. that was funny.
Yo.
Yeah, he put his ass back to fucking to a statue. And then years later, decades later, that fool fucking some other kids find it and they find this flute. It's a gold flute. So those flutes, every time they play the flute, they're rappers, so they're trying to like come up. So they play the flute. So then they start making hella money. And then at one point too, like this one of the dudes that hangs out with them, he's like, yeah man, I've been buying this weed from this one dude, right? And I swear that motherfucker be giving me clovers. Clovers, like what? He's like, look, check this shit out. And this is a fucking pound of weed, but instead of a pound of weed, it's a pound of 4-leaf clovers.
What the fuck?
That shit's terrible.
Damn,
That's
bro.
a good time.
No, I have not watched that one, honestly. I don't know any like movies I've watched that were hella fucking scary.
Oh, you ever remember the old school It back in the days? You're probably too young for that, but when I was a
Yeah.
kid, it was a scary movie. I was like, "Fuck, that's just it's believable that that shit will happen."
No, I haven't
Yeah,
seen the original
there's
one.
quite a bit of good movies back in the day.
I haven't seen the original, but it took me so fucking long to watch the modern first one. And then I watched the second one, and I think that was it. But no, I've never watched the original one.
I feel like
You ever seen Pet Cemetery?
yeah.
Yes,
The
dude.
new one,
Yeah.
the new one sucks balls. The
No,
old
I've seen the original.
the dude from Home Improvement and the one that's around over the fence, you can never see his face. He's like right here in the tree.
Hmm.
How you doing, neighbor? That motherfucker. He's the one that's like, don't go down now. That one's
Yeah, that was a good movie, honestly. I remember the part when his kid was playing ball, and it went into the road and shit.
Oh,
Remember
you
that
know
part?
that movie was made because what is it called? Stephen King had a phobia that his kid would be killed like that. That's the reason why he made
That's
it.
I didn't even know that was a phobia.
Yeah, it's fucking something to worry about. Shit.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Fuck.
Nah, but that's
He
a
wrote some good shit though. The one he wrote about Tahoe, Stephen King, that was a good one.
Which one?
Where I can't remember the name of the book or the movie, but the dude's like driving through Tahoe, wrecks his car. He finds himself waking up in a bed and he fucking saws it. In the new one, they break his ankles. In the old or
Oh,
in the book, it
Misery.
saws. Yeah,
Hell yeah, that's a good one too. Crazy bitch.
in the book, do they saw his legs off or his feet off?
oh
I'm
fuck.
not sure. I don't know. You know, it's
Fuck
another
no.
good one too that that had a lot of filming in Nevada too, the Sierra Nevadas. The Shining,
Hmm.
like the whole up there and shit, up to the mansion. It was the hotel was all of the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
What's the next topic? What you guys got?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, we probably talk about how it was living in Louisiana. You don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
give us some paranormal shit from another state somewhere down south besides Texas. I know you.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I can tell you the time I got attacked by a ghost or by an evil spirit. I mean,
Let's hear it.
so I was 5. I was 5 years old, and I remember this night I fell asleep in the living room watching TV, and I remember hearing my mom telling my dad like to go, "Hey, go take your son to his room." Like he fell asleep in the living room. So I remember I woke up to my dad carrying me to my room. I was kind of like making a fuss about it, but then I ended up going to sleep. And this happened late at night, if anything. I'm asleep, dead asleep, and all of a sudden, I hear a whack, like a loud fucking smack, right? And then all of a sudden, my back, like right here, on the left side of my back, fucking hurt it, like it burned, right? So I'm over here screaming. I'm over here screaming and fucking yelling bloody murder and shit. My mom and my dad come running to the room, and then they're like, "What happened? What happened?" And I looked, because my bed is like it's facing this way, but the door is like right here, and my closet is like directly at the end of my bed, right? And I had a bunk bed. We had a bunk bed for the middle was for me. The lower part it was like a pull-out shelf. That part was for my brother, and the top bunk was for my sister. And well, I was asleep in my bed, and I turned around, like I roll over, and peeking out from the fucking closet like this, right? It was like that. It was a pale white face with black hair. It was a little boy, and he like when I saw him, he went like that, like he just disappeared. So that made me freak out even more. I'm like the little, fucking screaming, telling my mom and my dad, I'm like, it's a little boy, it's a little boy in the closet. And well, come to find out, in the house, I think I've talked about this before, but that house is haunted by a family of four. It was a father, a mother, a son, and a daughter. So the thing is, the a witch I think had put a curse on the house. So when his family moved in, I think the dad got possessed and went fucking crazy. So he killed his wife and his kids, and then he ended up killing himself. And so I think we were haunted by that family. But I guess specifically, I was haunted by the little boy. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything from my brother, from my sister, or from like my mom. I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure my mom's seen some crazy shit. My dad heard doors slamming, even to the kitchen. We had a kitchen door, but it was glass. It was like a glass door. He heard that shit slam, and you can hear like the glass kind of like shaking a bit. Um, there was an instance where we already had a black cat, but there was another cat that went in, and it was all black. But I remember I saw it just like walking on the counter, and fucking when it saw me, it would like hiss, and then it'd run out the house. But there's like a lot of weird shit that I'd have to really think about that happened there. But that was the most memorable one though.
So when are you gonna do an Ouija board?
Ain't doing that shit, bro.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I would like to, but I can't.
Good luck. You know, could bring very good luck.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
Do your own devil stuff on your own time, Dave.
That's more like you're taking a gamble. You're either getting a good spirit, a bad spirit, or just a straight up fucking demon, you know? It's like one of three things.
Which one is it?
I'm down to take that risk. That's 1 in 3 odds. You know, that's not bad.
I
How
don't know,
about
man.
do it on your own time and then report back to us and tell us how it went.
There you go.
I'll FaceTime you guys.
Or you can just record a YouTube video and post it on the channel.
There we go. All three of us playing it.
By yourself.
I'll do ghost exploration. Honestly, I would do ghost exploration videos.
What about Anthony? Would you do that?
What?
Ghost exploring?
Ghost exploring?
Yeah, like paranormal hunting or paranormal activity.
Nah, I don't know. Boring. Depends, because in Nevada, everything's fucking far. We gotta drive fucking far as shit.
I mean, we can try to find a good amount of haunted places in Nevada. And then if we get to a point where we're making good money, or at least a good amount of money, we can fly out to like different states and shit.
Dude, I mean, honestly, we're right by VC.
Let me see.
I'm down, honestly. I'd like to do that.
Go to an abandoned like building and all fun Steve.
Yeah. Like they run away from the tweakers and shit.
That's what's gonna
That's
be.
what you really got to be worried about.
Yeah, that's what you gotta worry about. It's the tweakers and the homeless. It's gonna feel like a zombie movie, if anything.
Do you guys ever like to look up what's going down in town?
Like
Like
free
what?
events and stuff?
Free bed? No.
No, not free beds, events. Like
No, just like seeing what's going on. Yeah, anything like that. Do you guys like looking into what's going on in town and shit?
No,
I do. I do.
I mean, it's not bad to know what's going on, especially like I like looking at like I see this shit called My Town Reno on Reddit. They show all the videos of people in town acting crazy and shit.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, you ever been on there?
No, bro. I didn't even know they would post people being stupid.
A lot of the times it's just people complaining about town. Like 90% of like people are lazy. Or this one is like this lady selling tamales out of her trunk, drunk. Leave that lady alone.
He's trying to make some money, damn it.
Or they showed today too a big rig. They're showing the video that a big rig came off the freeway, crashed out of the freeway.
Oh shit.
You know, just past 4th Street, as it starts going up the hill going to Herdak, it fucking went over the side rail and shit. Shit's wild.
Fucking hell, bro. No, I did not hear about that. I'm always like looking into the events, you know, like Street Vibrations and the fucking Blue Zone Festival and what's the other one? Like just in general, you know.
I'd rather
Yeah,
go.
what's going on?
No, I look into that shit.
Yeah, I like to know.
Yeah. No, the last thing I heard about anything in Reno was when they busted a fucking gang for drugs and shit, like having guns, drugs, like stolen money and shit. But if you were to look at the shit they write out, yeah, like if you were to look at the shit they wrote out, like for what they were charged with and how much of like drugs and fucking stolen goods and shit like that they had, fucking low as shit, bro. And they busted like a gang of what? A good fucking 20, 30 people, maybe more. But they didn't really have shit.
You know, too, in Reno, if you
Mhm.
get arrested and you go to the sheriff's department, because no matter who you get arrested by, you're gonna go to the sheriff's department. You can look online on the Washoe County Sheriff and see their picture, and they have the pictures for the inmates for the day. And I think on one of the news websites they have that on there too, where you can see all the mug shots of all the people that recently got arrested in town. Fucking hilarious. Just go through it. Sometimes it's like, damn, you know, they're going through something, or it's just crazy crackheads or some shit like that.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that.
Try.
The only times I've ever searched up for like mug shots was when it came down to Friends, so I can just make fun of them.
I'm gonna look at it right now.
Ghost hunting sounds fun though.
It does though, it really does.
More fun than the Ouija board, David.
Sure, we can do both while we're there.
Oh, man.
You guys can just film me from a distance.
Right? No. I don't know, man. I wouldn't do the Ouija board or anything like that. I'll look around and shit.
So what you been up to this week, David?
Shit. I haven't done. I've been working. Other than that, nothing.
Oh shit.
Man, time flies. This fucking sucks. It's getting hot as shit now in Reno. It's fucking desert weather now.
Yeah.
Why not? Nice that the rain's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's gonna
I'm waiting for it.
rain a little bit here and there.
Mhm.
But I like rain in the hot weather because it just doesn't get too cold. It just comes down and cools everything off.
You ever felt? Well, I remember when I was like living in Texas, it would get cold and then it would rain, but it wouldn't get too cold. It would get like a good cold and then it would rain. But
What the hell
those
does good cold mean?
Hmm?
What the hell does a good cold mean? Is
a
there
good cold is like, well, yeah, when it's fucking freezing and there's like black ice everywhere,
they like
you know?
cooled down compared to
Yeah, you know, like it's hella hot like during the week, and then like towards that end of the week, it starts to cool down a lot. It gets a good, it gets like real windy, and then it starts to rain and shit. Like that feeling of it, you know, is good.
What was it? Friday we got quite a bit of rain.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was it Friday? No, it was Thursday and
Thursday.
Friday actually. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I
right.
remember.
End of Friday.
It was actually Thursday because it was right after my son's graduation, and we went to Walmart and fucking all the lights went out, dude.
Oh shit!
Did you grab shit and run?
No, they came right back on within like 5 seconds.
Damn.
Grab shit and run. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, man, you got 5 seconds to grab some shit and run.
You'll be running
No.
to the door, then the lights turn back on.
Yeah, there you go. No,
Dude, it's
that's-
crazy. The fucking Walmart on 4th Street, or I think it's 4th Street, the one that's next to the GSR. Have you guys been to that one?
Yeah.
no Walmart.
On Second Street.
Yeah, fuck that one.
Man,
that one's
fuck that Walmart, bro.
It's always like they have secured. They got the fucking ass wipe fucking locked up. They got fucking pencils locked up. They got everything locked up. I don't know what the fuck.
Well,
Yeah,
dude, everyone they stole from that store. That's why.
bro, that's the most ghetto fucking Walmart that I've ever seen.
Dude, they hire security, but I've seen people walk out with shit and no one chasing them. I'm like, what the fuck?
hmm You know, it's the same way with like the smaller stores too, like Walgreens and shit. People just go in, take shit, and then leave, and they can't do anything about it.
Well, okay, I was gonna say because like 3 months ago, dude, my wife and my kids went to Winco on South Virginia Street, and we get close to the entrance, and this guy comes out running, and security grabbed him, threw him to the ground. He ended up running away. Fucking, he
shit.
tried to steal some shit. Yeah.
Well, I guess it all depends on the store, honestly. It depends on the store, but mainly the area it's in, you know? Like, if it's like a nice neighborhood, or if it's like around the part of town where there's a bunch of stores, you know, you're going to have a bunch of security.
So a
But-
certain part.
Oh, yeah. But Second Street, no.
Stay the fuck away from that.
There's
Yeah.
quite a bit of shitty parts of Reno, but there's some nice parts, you know?
There's some
I
nice
want to
parts.
go. I want to go to the nice parts.
Some of the nicest parts. I gotta think about it. There's some nice places on like Mayberry.
Nah, dude, I'm talking about nicer than that. I'm talking about like fucking 9-bedroom homes, bro.
9-bedroom homes.
Dude, they're like
Talking about the ones on Skyline or the ones way out in Damani Ranch and shit.
Now going towards Verdi, but not in Verdi. Before Mogul, it's like up Somerset.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Like, are you talking about the towns and like the mountains and shit?
It's kind of in the mountain, yeah. It's still part of
Oh.
Reno.
It's like
Yeah.
down the side of the valley and shit. I know you're talking about a big ass thing.
No,
You'd be
I don't think I've been
Jacksonville.
around there.
Listen,
Like, man, if I can get my license, I drive to those areas just for the hell of it.
The only reason I know about it is because DoorDash. But
Mm.
there's some nice bars, but then there's like you go down. I know you both know this road, or at least Anthony does. Wedekin, like that's a ghetto ass fucking.
Whittakin is the worst fucking street. Probably. Either that or Grove Street. If you just drive
Bro's
straight.
pretty bad too.
Or another one, Denslow.
Yeah.
Just off of Whittakin. Fucking horrible.
Yeah. What makes them so horrible?
It's just like some of the most ghetto parts of the whole town.
Mm.
Or if you want to get more trailer park, you can hit somewhere like Stun Valley.
Everyone's yard has like just trash everywhere.
Horrible. It looks like an old town that never got developed. Right. Stun Valley is actually not bad of a place too. It's not that bad. It's not.
They have a nice section now. If you go all the way down Sun Valley Boulevard and to that like little cul-de-sac, there's like some decent homes over there.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Need to fix the fucking roads up there, man. All the ditches and shit. No wonder why hella people get hurt and get hit and can't even see the fucking street light when you come through.
A lot of people can't drive for shit, bro.
Reno?
So that was one of mine. I want to ask you both this. I'm not saying you got to describe somebody. I'm not saying describe anybody. Of all the vehicle makes and models out there, what model do you or make do you think is like you expect them to be like douchebag on road?
Mm.
I'd have to say Kia drivers.
Kia? Honestly, I don't know. I wouldn't. I guess like old vehicles, you know, like old fucking Jeeps and Chevys and shit.
I'd probably say the motherfuckers in the Hellcats, the Dodges.
I mean, I've seen a lot of Hellcats and Dodges, but I've never had a problem. Or at least I've never seen a problem like you started with them.
Or here's a good one. How many times have you guys probably don't pay attention to this, but I do because I'm on the road with her quite a bit. Like when you're driving, you're doing the like maybe it's 45, but you're doing 50, right? And you're 5 over the limit, and you're just driving, and yet you see someone pass by, and the last thing you see on their car is baby on board, and they're just doing like 70.
They have some bullshit sticker in the back. No, I know what you mean, but I feel like those are like people building their cars, you know? They put some stupid shit on it, but in reality, it's like what's it called? It's like some fucking JDM car or something like that, you know?
But he's talking about the baby on board sticker.
Yeah, baby on board or fucking student driver or some shit.
My favorite one is baby in this bitch.
That's a fucking good one, yeah. I like that one, yeah. That would be my favorite. No, I've seen a lot of people driving like JDM cars around here recently. Especially like going towards work, you know. I see a lot of them.
There's a lot of fucking people now with the JDM cars now.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I like the JDM scene.
What the fuck is that?
Like Japanese styled cars and shit.
Nah, I like my Lexus. That's from Japan too.
Yeah, or just like street cars in general, you know.
I like some
People
wood.
put
I want
wood.
something where I could just sit and be comfortable.
Mm. No, I like to just cruise, you know, but also have that fucking speed with it.
I cannot care less. I can if I can go nice and slow and have a big, like I still like driving a truck. If I was to get a little car, I'd probably get like a big, like a Cadillac. Nice,
Sounds car, dude.
Mm.
Like that'd be dope.
driving nice and slow.
If I could learn how to drive that car specific,
Sorry,
it would
not to
be
laugh.
it would be a Chevy Bel Air.
Tell your driver instructor you both sit down, be like, "Don't worry, I know how to drive a forklift."
Oh fuck yeah, man! No, fuck that. I'm gonna drive a forklift. Fuck that shit.
Fucking certified.
Fucking, I'm gonna have a sticker certified. You know.
I guess that's one thing too. They told us. I was asking the other day. You know, I work. How we get our certified shit? You know, how we get our forklift card? Oh, and the main guy that told me, he's like, hey, we can print them out in 2 hours, or in 20 minutes, but we don't have the machine. And I've been telling them, come bring the machine so we can print them out here. But are you serious? Like, yeah. So everyone physically, but they're certified because we have it on paper. I was like, so when are we gonna do this? He's like, well, whenever we get the printer.
So they're recertifying all you guys?
Pretty much, just like doing it more like by the book and the dude that's telling us how to do it, instead of just like doing all of them at the same time for doing on one machine and all of them are certified for everything. Yeah, it's fucking even more technical. It's not,
What the-
it's, I don't know, but whatever.
Hold on, check this out. If it can fucking focus,
The hell is that?
it's a fucking forklift.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Hold on. There you go.
Count us on the forklift.
Fuck yeah, man.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna do that shit. I'm gonna be doing that.
Those fuckers go fast.
Yeah. I seen
Imagine
it.
like,
Yeah.
oh, ass.
Nah, fucking forklifts, man. You ever just do a donut with one?
Yeah. Theoretically.
Theoretically. At my last job, I did. I would do donuts. I would burn out. Like I would
My
actually
last-
burn out with a fucking forklift.
My
On a
last
skid
job, I ran into the wall.
Jesus. Murder last.
Oh shit.
You gave him an excuse for a window.
I haven't done that, but I have busted somebody's rear light. I drove a fucking pallet into their tail light.
Oh, that reminds me. Xavier, you have a wonderful story about driving with no headlights. You want to tell us that?
Fuck, man. Okay. Damn, I didn't know we were gonna call me out like that. That's crazy.
It's
Um,
a great story. We all got to hear this story.
I don't know, man. I mean, you gotta understand, from my point of view, I barely even knew how to fucking drive. And I don't know why the fuck this happened, but it happened, you know?
Oh, get
So,
that.
This was when I was living in Texas. I was living in a small town, another small town. A best friend, let's say like a family friend, asked me if they could borrow my mom's car. And I'm like, I don't know, because my mom's out of town, you know? So I call her up. I'm like, hey, so-and-so wants to borrow the car. Like, what do you want me to do? And the thing is, that friend worked with me and my sister at McDonald's. So it was like, we're going to be going to work and then coming back, you know? And I didn't think about it at the time, But then when it came to us clocking out, it was nighttime. So I'm like, well, fuck, what do I do now? You know, what do I do now? I barely know how to fucking drive. So, that friend was like, hey, can you drive me home? I'm like, well, I don't know how to drive, but you can drive the car, and then we'll just take off from there. So we got to the friend's house, dropped them off, and then when it came to me and my sister going home, that's when the crazy shit started happening, right? So we get on this fucking back road, but it's just straight to the fucking house, right? I'm over here trying to get out these duplexes because we dropped them off at a duplex, and
Tell them the best part. Tell them the best part.
I'm getting there. Hold on, I'm getting there. And when we were pulling out, I did not know how to turn on the fucking headlights, right? I thought they just automatically came on. That's just what I thought. And well, they didn't turn on. So I'm over here like, well, what the fuck's going on now? Like, what do I do? And well, just to get some sort of fucking light, my stupid ass decided to use the goddamn turn signals. So I was using that. I was using that.
You put your hazards on.
Yeah.
'Cause I was thinking, are you really gonna go back and forth the whole time, or did you?
No, bro. You know what? There was a time. There was a time when I was just there sitting. I thought about that, but no, no, man, no. So I used my fucking hazards to have light, and I managed to get on this fucking straight road, right? But mind you, the straight road has no lights. It's pitch fucking black, and the only light you see is in the distance. And when you got to that part, it was one street lamp, and it went towards the house that I was staying in. So you go straight, and then when you get to that one fucking light, you go left, and then that was the place. But I drove just in the fucking dark, just chilling, right? Just jamming out to some old fucking music. And then we got to the light. I turned off my hazards. Left, went left, and then went home, and that was it. But
don't lie.
I swear, I parked the car, and that was it. And
Tell them about the part hit the wall.
I didn't hit the wall. No, I didn't hit the wall.
You said that.
I almost.
Wall.
So while I had my hazards on, there's a time where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take this turn. Well, what I didn't fucking know was it was a curb. So I was about to go over the fucking curb and drive into someone's goddamn duplex.
Jesus, bro.
Mind you, at the time, I did not know how to drive for shit, okay? So it's not my fault entirely, right? But now I know how to fucking drive. I legit know how to drive. I just don't have my license.
You know where your headlights are now?
Yeah. I know where the fucking headlights are.
You know where the hazards are, just in case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I even know the windows.
That was the most hilarious story when he told me. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Fuck, bro. Nah, that's some crazy shit, though. Damn, you didn't have to call me out like that.
Good story.
It's cool. It's cool. It's whatever, you know. No, but that was a crazy ass time. That was crazy. I feel like I have a lot more crazy ass stories in Texas than I would any other place that I've lived in.
What would you say would be the craziest?
Hanging out of a truck.
Outside?
Going like hanging fully outside of the truck, going about 60 down a dirt road.
Dang. In the dark with the headlights on.
No, during the day. During the day. All right. It would have been more crazier if it was during the dark, you know, because that's when all the crazy fucking shit happens, you know.
We're hanging out
Like
like,
what?
"Woo."
You got you got animals, you know, you got animals running around, deer running around and shit, jumping in the middle of the fucking road.
What, you think Bambi's gonna kick your ass real quick and then jump away?
Like, man, you don't want to fuck with the deer out there, bro, because they'll pop up, you know. They pop up out of nowhere. I don't know how many times we've almost gotten into a car crash because of a fucking deer.
What other wildlife is out there?
You got hogs.
Okay.
Mainly deer, hogs, and coyotes.
You seen hogs before down there?
Yeah, I seen a whole fucking
You
whole
ever hunt
family
them?
of hogs. Huh?
You ever hunt them?
No, because I don't have a hunting license for that shit. That
You know-
or I was never invited to someone's ranch.
You know anyone that did? Oh, you just said no. Okay.
Yeah, I knew people who did. Yeah. There was a guy. There was a guy in my when I worked at my last job. They got a bunch of deer pellets, you know, but like scented ones. I think they got scented ones, or it was just regular. What?
Deer pellets, like deer shit.
No, deer pellet is deer food.
He's a
No, it's deer food. You know, deer pellets. It's just deer food. It's protein. That's all it is. It's just protein mixed with like berries and shit.
Shit like that.
It's some shit like that, yeah. But there was one brand, and there's one brand of deer feed that we had sold, and it smelled straight like berries. Like you don't smell the protein or nothing. It smelled real nice, you know.
And shit like
But
that.
it just smelled like berries. And then we sold a cottonseed because people use cottonseed as well. I forgot what animal they feed it to, but you can feed it to an animal.
Cotton seed, like cotton plants.
Yeah, yeah.
Really? How big is the seed?
No, they're tiny as shit, bro. They're like real tiny, but they have like pieces of cotton sometimes.
They're white. They're white seeds?
They're like brown seeds, like a wood brown. You know what I mean? It's like real woody. Yeah.
Woody?
I'm just saying it's like real woody. No, but when you have them in a bag, the bag itself weighed about like 20 pounds. But but people like we would like lay on them because they're so fucking soft. Like it felt like if you were sleeping like on a beanbag or something. Like
So
a
you
beanbag
actually
chair.
seen the cotton fields down there?
Yeah. I've seen a good bit of cotton fields over there in Texas, especially in small towns.
That's crazy.
Yeah. At least the town I was living in, there was a few cotton fields. There's a lot of jokes there that was made in school, but you know,
You will not have that shit here.
yeah, it's like I don't know, you know. So I was like, okay, no, but shit, yeah, going back to what I was originally saying. Yeah, the craziest shit that I've probably done was hang out of a truck, like at least going 60. What about y'all?
Anthony?
I'm sorry, I'm blank right now.
What was the craziest shit that y'all think that y'all have done?
I don't know. I don't think about that.
What about you, David? like just a straight up crazy as shit, you know? Like you didn't expect that you do it.
Get my nipples here.
Jesus.
Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Good for you, brother.
Yeah, right. No, that's fucking awesome. What about you? What about you, Anthony?
The craziest thing I did. I don't know, probably like get into the cannabis industry because when I applied for it, I thought about it. I was like, I'm probably never gonna get in here and get hired here because I was young. I was what 22, 23. And I was like, man, I want to get in here and I don't have any experience but black market experience. But it was crazy to see me able to be a part of the cannabis industry in Nevada for over 7 years, which is it's pretty great to be able to see the ins and outs of it.
Hell yeah. What was like the most awesome thing you've seen or experienced when working in the cannabis industry?
So when I worked in cannabis, it wasn't like in the store selling weed. It was like behind the scenes in the warehouse, like or a grow facility where you're packaging, you're harvesting, you're growing out the plants to be able to flower them and shit like that. Probably some of the crazy shit I've seen is like that's interesting. Like there's this process called fuck, I gotta think about what the name of that is. Tissue culture. That's what it's called. And it's a process.
Tissue culture?
Yeah. So this is something that you can do not just with cannabis, but with almost any plant. So the way that they do it is, so whenever you take a clone of a plant, say if you grow weed, you're gonna kill the plant. So you can grow a plant, and you have to kill it at the end of its lifespan. So what you do is you get a mother. It's called a mother because it's giving out a bunch of plants from that plant. So you're taking cuts off of this big plant, and you're getting it with a razor blade, and you're dipping it in a solution that's similar to aloe vera. It's like the aloe vera plant. It's the old hippie thing where you can get like a spoonful, a tablespoon of aloe vera plant and mix it in a glass of water and use that as your solution to calm the plant. It's a certain hormone in the solution that makes the roots form. So you put it in dirt, you put it in a piece of rock wool, which is it's just stone that's been heated up really, really hot to make it like cotton candy fibers, and that's how it's really like sterile. So those are the ways to clone. But as you grow weed for a certain amount of days or years, time passes, that plant may not have the same strength as it was 10, 15 years ago. And I've been around plants that were like old as shit, like 20 years, like damn near as old as me at the time.
Damn.
23 years old. Like these strains are really old. So the process to bring these back was you bring as healthy as you can, as strong as you can the plant. Even though it's getting old and dilapidated, it's not producing well. You take it to tissue culture. And instead of when you take clones, you got to take a clone about, that big, maybe like 6 to 8 inches maximum. You don't have to do too big, but at least 6 inches. When you do tissue culture, what you're doing is you're getting a part of the plant. It's like a tree grows, right? And then it has a branches that come off of it, just a little small branches that grow on. What you're doing is you're getting that little small little cut, that little shoot that's growing out, really small. You can get it up to 2 to 3, or I'd say like minimum 2 to 3 centimeters small. You take them, and it's going to be in a laboratory setting. The way I seen it done, it was a laboratory setting, and they cut these parts of the plants really small, and they would put them in test tubes with a certain solution. It's a different solution, but it was like a test tube baby. But it was the way that they nurtured it from when it was weird. The whole process of it, it's more technical. Getting into like the setting, the sterilization. They have these boxes you put your hands into that have like little gloves and shit, and then you put the plant in there and you do it like really by the book, like really taking your time and using certain things. Like the test tubes are like this big, and they'll have like 50 of them, and they're in a solution, and they'll leave them in the dark, and then they'll bring them out, and like it's a whole thing. Tissue culture is really crazy to think that they can bring these 50, 60-year-old strains from like your granddaddy's time back. Some shit
God
like that.
damn.
Like it's crazy to think that they have the technology to do that shit. Because there's a lot of strains out there that people like think like real OG or like Hem Dog, some Hindu Kush, or like some Chronic, like old school shit that's not here no more, and it just like went away with the times. That it's never gonna be here anymore. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Yeah.
that person out of everyone in America or the whole world that have that one seed. You know, to me, the most interesting thing about cannabis is the growing, the whole horticulture like view of it, like how to understand the plant itself and like where the strains come from and breeding the plants. Like one of my favorite things to watch about like cannabis too is like these people that go out and they find strains around the world. Like they go to like Africa and they find like the pure sativa strains, and then they go out to like fucking Afghanistan or some shit like that, or Pakistan, and they go to certain places that are high elevation where they find fucking like these fucking wild growing OG Kush like type strains. They're Hindu Kush. They're the purest indica that there is, and they go
Oh
out to these
shit.
places. Yeah, they get them just to go get seeds. To get the seeds and take them back so they can breed them with their other strains that they already have. It's fucking crazy.
And I feel like not only the whole process of growing weed and the whole like subject of it, but what about the packaging of cannabis? What do you think of that?
Nowadays, it's crazy to think like the East Coast got packaging game. Like it's crazy the shit they do. Have you seen like they have like the PlayStation 2 fucking knockoff video game packaging? It looks like a
I've
video
seen
game.
that.
You seen that shit, Dave?
No.
It's like I think it's called instead of it saying a PlayStation, it says Dank Station 2, and then it's like Def Jam Fight Club, but the picture of it. But then you read more in it. It says the strain name, and you go on the back, and it tells you what the strain is, and you open it up, and it's a bag that's shaped like a CD. You ever seen that?
Bro,
They got some wild ass shit. Like they even got a miniature fucking bucket of chicken, like a KFC chicken. Yeah, and then you open
I've
it
seen
up, and it's
that shit.
and that's your eight. There's some wild ass shit. Or they got some like shit to where like they have this thing where they one company made you ever seen those video games that looks like a Game Boy, but that has like fucking 3,000 video games, like old school ones?
Yeah, the real fucking knockoff ones.
Yeah, yeah. These foods sold
Mhm.
the Ace are like a zip with the video game, and it's like branded for the brand.
That's
Some of the shit
fucking
gets pretty
awesome,
interesting.
bro. Hell yeah. What do you think
Yeah,
of
on the East Coast, packaging.
I don't know how it is. I don't know how the packaging game is over there in Texas. I have not seen anybody package any weed like badass, you know. But what
Really on the way, like jars or bags, and you can make it clever on like a clever looking like label on the bag or something. But I've hardly ever seen anything stand out compared to like the East Coast.
hmm
They
that's
got
how I that's yeah. What about people rolling like big blunts but in different shapes? For example, like Snoop like a sculpture of Snoop Dogg or a fucking train or an airplane or some shit. What do you think of that?
Oh, I seen that shit. They have this competition where they have online these these guys roll up different sculptures and shit. And one of the dude that won it, it's like this fucking intricate looking thing. I forgot what it was exactly, but he even has like guns and shit. Like he has ARs, AKs, and like little handguns and shit. And they always ask
Hmm.
him too, like, so are these smokable? He's like, fuck yeah, they're smokable. Like they look crazy, and it takes me a fucking shitload of time, but they're smokable. Like what? That's probably the
Fuck
biggest
yeah.
thing of all that. It's like fuck it, take all that time. I remember the most we'd ever do was like a cross joint back in the day, or like a
Hmm.
tulip. You ever roll up a tulip?
No.
Tulip was pretty dope. So like at the end of your joint, instead of like rolling like an extra paper on it, you fold it into like a triangle shape, and then you stick a hole through it so you can put the top of your joint on top of it, and then you fill that with the weed and just shape it into like a cone shape, like a tulip. So it's just like a
Huh.
pyramid on top of your joint.
No, I've never seen that shit. That's actually pretty cool.
Or nowadays they call that shit the hash hole or the donut,
Hmm.
where you we used to do this all the time back then. I know this is an old thing, no matter what. Like they have the cartridges, but even back in the day when you used to roll up hash in your joint, so like instead of sprinkling it, I used to like making a snake. So So you get like a nice little piece of snake, and the length of your joint, and you roll up your joint and have it in the middle of your joint. But
Yeah.
you know, as time goes on, people they like putting the concentrates like wax or like sauce or fucking dry sip and like all that shit. So they're starting to do that. They're selling pre rolls in the West Coast in LA. And they're calling the hash rolls. So they put like a half gram or even like a full gram of concentrate inside like a 2 gram joint. So when it burns in the center of it, it looks like just a red cherry, and it looks just like a donut.
That's fucking awesome, bro.
That's pretty cool.
No, you see, I want to see shit like that, you know. Or when people do the smoking competitions where they try to make different shapes, like blowing out the smoke and shit. You seen that?
I think that's fucking stupid.
It's more of like they do it more with vapes, but I don't think they do it with like
I don't
weed,
think,
you know.
yeah, with weed. Someone would tell them right away, you're fucking retarded.
Mm.
Yeah, the cannabis market back in the day in the 2010s in LA was fucking wild. A lot of these places didn't even have a license, so they didn't consider themselves selling it. They say donate this much for an eighth, and we'll give it to you for free. So they, how like places you like see buy one get one for free. They say instead of BOGO, it'll be BOGO, and it's because they say, oh, donate one get one. I remember there was places you can buy like QPs and half pounds. I think you can still do that in California. It's been a long time since I've been out just to buy weed. But
yeah.
back in the day, there would be places you could buy a QP or a half pound because that was the limit. I think it changed now. I think it's more than a half pound. Legally.
Yeah, shit's changed quite a lot.
It's crazy how out here they don't allow people to like really grow or like have the means to go to the store and buy strains to grow at home. Because when I was in California, that was another thing too. Like there was always places you can like in the store that you can buy seeds or clones, and the clones were like $10. I remember back in the day, like too, like one of my buddies, his dad was cool, and he was like old time dude. He's like, yeah, man, I can get some plants. What do you mean? He showed me his weed plants, and he'll grow them outside. I was like, wow, that's dope. So that one time he told me, he's like, you want to give me some? I'll give you some money. I was like, yeah, give me like 40, $50. I'll get you a couple plants. So I remember driving. I used to like doing that too. Like when I first did it the first time, man. And I used to like go look places like, hey, maybe I can go find me some plants somewhere or some seeds. Well, I didn't really like doing with the plants because I couldn't like guarantee I'm gonna keep them alive right away. But I said, fuck it, let me get some seeds, so maybe I can have a little fucking seed bank. And I go like drive to a certain part of California, like 20 minutes out, and then go find a spot where they have like these certain strains and shit.
Yeah, now it's just easy, and there's so many dispensaries. You can just go get whatever you wanted now.
The strains are weird now because back in my day there was a lot of strains, and they were real like they weren't all the same smelling or tasting. Really, like a lot of the shit nowadays is like a lot of same taste and smell. Back in like when I first got my medical when I was 18, man, all the old school strains. I remember there was like the day of the OGs back in that day. Like it was always something OG something OG something, like the Skywalker OG, and then the Yoda OG, Vader OG, all that shit, and there was always like some OG at the end of the name of it.
Yep.
One of my favorite strains, the Skywalker OG, was man classic back in the day.
I think when I started smoking weed, the one strain I'd always get would be Purple Haze.
They have that out here still too. I think Silver State they have the Purple Haze. I tried it the other day, and I used to have that strain too. It has a real specific smell and taste to it, and I was like, man, this is some real Purple Haze. I remember at one point when I used to grow like weed, when I used to work with all the cannabis, I used to have up to like fucking 20 something strains, like 25 strains or something like that. Like a lot of them. And it was just because I wanted to keep them just one 1 week I'm gonna cut a couple of these ones, and the next week a couple of clones of these ones, just to have a rotation of different flavors in the mix and shit. That was probably
Yeah.
the coolest time ever.
See, I don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to that, but I do remember a lot of the times when I just smoked with my friends and shit. That's really it.
Yeah.
I love it. I believe you.
I don't know. There's some decent strains still, but there's some okay ones.
Yeah, like there's some good
Well,
strains.
what's the best weed strain you've had, David?
Back in the day, called God Gift.
God's gift purple.
Now it was like an orange. It would have a lot of.
Probably the two, or I'll say no. I have a top
Or
three. I can't give
champagne.
it a. I have to give it a three. There's three different times in my life, and growing up smoking different weed, like it's really like heavy pothead. With the three times that really hit me. Well, the first time I ever had some really like, damn, that stood out. That was some strong weed. Was fucking plain red chronic. That was like the first time I was like, damn, that shit got me fucking high as fuck. And then after that, I would have to say two of the next ones are really close. Was when I first seen AK-47 come out.
Dude,
Damn, that hit really good. And then the last one, right like soon after that, maybe like a few months after that, there was a shit called White Rhino.
Yeah, that
I
was
remember
good.
White Rhino.
That shit got us so high, and we were bad kids back in the day. We smoked in my grandma's house in the back room, and I remember the grandparents were like, "Oh, whatever, sweet smokes." But I remember that day we weren't even smoking like blunts or nothing. Like we just like I think we even smoked a joint. No, yeah, we did smoke a joint, and then we started taking bong blows, hitting the bong, and it was fucking smoked out. We still had the window open. We were just sitting there high, and then our grandpa came. Bang, son boy, telling my cousin, open the window, open the window. It's stone. I'm too stone over here. Like what? And they're like, fucking, oh, he's fucking contact guy. That was the first. The thing like, damn, we got that.
Damn.
All bad.
Hell no, bro. See, that's some crazy shit. When people go in and be like,
are some of the strongest shit I've ever smoked. I wish we still have to now. You ever seen brown hash?
Yeah.
yeah.
Chocolate bar hash. That's what they call it, right? I remember when I first seen it, I seen them in like chocolate bar sizes, and they were like ounce bars. No, it was like $200 an ounce because no one wanted to buy it. And I remember at one point they started going lower because no one really wanted to smoke because they didn't know what was up with it. But if you're a real smoker back in the days, like you get a dub sack and then you get another dub sack and some hash. And then while you're smoking joints or bowls, you're just packing some on top or underneath. If you want to be sneaky, put some underneath the bowl so when someone hits it, it's super high.
Damn.
I would always layer it. I do a little bit of hash, a little bit of weed, a little bit of hash, a little bit of weed, all the way up.
Yeah. I remember that was one of the best
yeah.
times too. When I was growing and I was in Silver State. Fucking no, it was Silver State. Yeah, one of the companies they showed us like about how to like make hand hash. So like back in the days, like the gloves we throw them away, but like every once in a while just keep a pair of gloves. Fuck yeah! So you take a pair of gloves home, and it'll be like a nice like golf ball size of hash sometimes. So eventually, if working there for so long, you have like a couple balls of hash. And we're just smoking fucking straight hash balls or like straight hash joints. So the way you do it is you roll the joint with it, right? But then you gotta get like a paper clip and make the whole streak down the center. But then once it's going, it's like a fucking coal. It will not stop burning. You gotta put it inside something to cut the air off. I remember that shit. It was a good time. Smoking straight hash joints.
Damn.
Good times.
Oh, shit, my bad. I had
in a good minute.
What's that?
But I haven't smoked any hash in a good minute.
I haven't done wax in a good minute. Taking dabs? I haven't done that in a fucking minute.
Oh, my brother gave me this shit. It's called the Puffco. It's like looks like a Sherlock Holmes pipe. Kind of
Oh no way!
like I have this pipe. It's just tobacco use.
Damn, bro.
This pipe, it's the shape like this, but it's the bowl for the concentrates. And I told my brother because he's like, "Come on, we'll just take it." I was like, "I don't want it. This shit's expensive. It's like $200-300 something like that." And I never fucking use it, but every blue moon when I have a little bit of wax or I get like a gram or a half gram for cheap, I'll go fucking throw it in there. Throw a little
Hell
bit.
yeah, man. I want to get one of those, bro. I want to get that shit. Hell yeah.
Dabs get you like in a whole nother world too. When I used to grow, I used to have a lot of shape and shit left over. So I remember one point I had like a fucking half of shape. And I used to know this one guy, he was real cool. Like he made diamonds, like the THC diamonds and like the wax and all that shit. And I said, "Hey man, make this into wax for me." So he blew everything and it was like a fucking 3 ounce puff. Nice stuff. Oh.
Oh shit.
It was just a bunch of strains, but it was fucking, nobody could smoke. But once you start dabbing and you get into just dabbing, you get a tolerance so high, you can weed doesn't taste the same anymore. Like even the best taste smelling weed, you can go try to take a hit of the bowl, it won't taste right. It's like you're used to the dabs because the dabs are so much sweeter and more like tasty, like really tasty. And then kind of like you're wasting the bowl because you can smoke a bowl and be like, I'm not stoned. I need to take a dab.
Yeah. When I took dabs, we get those little rubber bowls, You fill it up and shit. I remember one time I made a mistake of smoking half of that fucking bowl. I was out of it, bro. I was supposed to like take a corner, but instead I ended up taking like almost the whole fucking bowl.
Damn.
And yeah, bro, I was fucked up, man.
Oh, you were back in the day of the hot dabs too, where it was like the little glass nail you heat up and shit like that, or like the type.
Yeah,
Those are like the
yeah.
old school. Like, damn, my shit.
Uh,
Dabs have gotten so much more sophisticated now. Even like doing past the torch, like no more torch shit. Like I have an old school email too, like this one that you connect to a bond. You just have it here, and then it's just a little nail that goes like it's a little heat element that goes around the piece of quartz, and it just set. Which that's still kind of old school too. Or like the puff codes where you have like the temps really set in and all that shit, or like the emails that you can put onto a piece of glass and fucking show people like, oh, this is some heady piece. I know motherfuckers too, like back in the day, like real people real in the black market, they'll go buy like pieces of worth like 10,000. You ever seen those fucking heady pieces that people take dabs out of?
yeah, they're like huge fucking chunks.
Super expensive ass shit. And this one time had this sculpture, right? And it was like of a plane going around like the cylinder. So it was like kind of like a bottle like shape. And then it was a plane flying around it. And then the propellers, you can spin it and shit too. That shit was dope. That shit was worth like 10 grand. That one was a badass fucking badass shit.
I never had my own rig. I never bothered to buy one because when I go over to like certain friends' houses, they would have their own rigs and shit. So they'll be like, "You want to take a hit?" I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm down." So yeah.
Maybe when I get a chance, I'll bring out my piece. That's a question that's good, right? What is the longest fucking you've ever had a pipe or a bong or something?
I've never.
You, I know you did because you're older. Do you still have a bong or something that you kept for a while, or like a pipe or something that you had for a while?
One that I had for like 8 years, but it shattered.
That's your last one. You don't have nothing you had for a long time.
Now everything else I usually just retire and grab.
You just fucking start getting resin out of it and shit.
Yeah, once it gets clogged, I'm like, oh, you want?
I have some pieces that are like I've had for a while. Shit. Like at least this bong.
I've never had a piece.
It's dirty too. But I had this bong for fucking like 5 years. Just one day I was like, I need something that's simple. Something that's a nice fucking spot, you know, I can hit it. My favorite bong. But I have this one piece, right? I bought it from my homie, and he bought it from the guy that made it for him, and it's signed on it too. But the year I met my wife is the year that it was made too. That's why I like to keep it. But I had it.
Oh shit!
It's his birth date is 2009.
Fuck yeah!
Let me show you what. We'll keep her in the nice box too. Right. Yeah.
Damn son.
It's an old school bubbler. It has, you know, the bowl. Look there.
That's pretty cool.
Where's the beauty?
Fuck yeah, bro.
All kinds of shit on it.
That's fucking cool, man.
Maybe you can see the date on it on the bottom. Look for it. Oh yeah, okay. Don't feel like that, but you can see it. There you go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
09.
Shit, son.
Had this for a long time. And it only sits in here. I don't like bringing it out on a special occasion. Really, it just stays on the case. Yeah, I had that fucker for a really long time.
Hmm. Damn. See, I've never had a piece like a pipe or bong or anything like that. Never had one.
Really?
Yeah, because
Like-
for the most part, I was smoking joints and I was smoking blunts,
But you're from Texas, so you can't really keep shit like that around.
pretty much. I mean, I've tried bongs, I've tried a gas mask, I've tried a pipe, bro. The gas mask, crazy as shit, man. I did a gas mask
Oh
twice.
shit! I used to have one. I gave it to my brother. I told you one time we got
Oh, yeah?
raided at my house, right? Because allegedly they said we were selling weed, but we're just smoking weed. My cousin's already 18, but I was still like a youngster. I was under 18. So bam, and we just smoked the last of our weed. And we hide our weed, right? You know, because we have, you know, not just like an eighth, a quarter, whatever. And we put it in the closet, hallway closet, and, you know, on the floor somewhere. So we were moving soon, getting all the shit ready in the house. So that day we smoked the last of our weed. And I remember I was sitting on the couch playing PlayStation 2, playing fucking Call of Duty, and I heard them knocking at the door. I was like, what the fuck? So I go up to the door, I was smoking shit. And I just see someone in black. And I was like, what the fuck? It looks like a lady. I couldn't see shit. I was like, whatever. So I opened the door, and it was a fucking lady cat. And then standing to the side past the doorway was another cat. I was like, oh, man. Hey, what's up? Oh, yeah, we got reports of someone over here selling weed and this and that. And we had to come in. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then my cousin's like, oh, this is my grandma's house. I was like, we smelled this. I'm like, what? So like, yeah, we're gonna come in, and there's been suspicions of blah blah blah. So they came in with the dog, and they had the dog come in the house. So in the living room, and then there's an entertainment center, and I had my grinder and my gas mask, and yeah, with the bong on. I was like, man, I was like, whatever. I didn't think about it at the time. So I was like, I'll sit on the couch, like, whatever, do what you're gonna do. I don't care. So I sat on the couch and kept playing video games, because they're raiding the house, they did everything. And they told it, because he told everyone to, you guys all gotta come out of there. I'm like, whatever, sit right here, and I play my video game, whatever. I play the video game, and the cop comes all through this and that, and then he finds the spot where the weed was, and in the hallway. And I remember one of the things too, they were looking at like the ventilation system, like the HVAC. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. We're looking to see if there's tampering. Hiding shit, man. What the fuck? So then they find the spot where the weed was supposed to be at, and the dog was like really had his attention on it and was smelling. And he tells, yeah, you guys had weed with there recently. Like, yeah, we did was we smoked it all. Oh, okay, all right then. And then my cousin had a scale because back in those days, motherfuckers skimpy, so we had that scale. So yeah, the weed scale. And I remember that was the only thing they found was the weed scale. And they're all like, I remember that shit. They gave him a ticket for paraphernalia and this and that. And then after everything, I remember that shit too. It was so long. It was like 2 hours. And then I'm sitting there after the 2 hours, and I was still playing the video game, and the cop comes in. He's like, "We're not gone yet." I'm like, "Oh fuck, really? What do you want this time?" He's like trying to scare me. He's like, "Look, your cousin got in trouble, but he can get you in trouble with this." And I was like, "Well, then do it. Fine, just do it then. If not, whatever." And he just like got mad and left, and I was like, whatever. So I remember that day. After the fact, I looked in the little cabinet, and I see my gas mask on my brand.
Hell yeah.
There it is. I think it got stolen after that too.
Ah, shit.
Years and years later.
No, the first time I tried a gas mask, I don't know if I talked about this. First time I tried it, I was fucking stoned. I was stoned.
Burns your fucking eyeballs. That's what it does.
Yeah, man. That's dry ass eyes, dry ass mouth. Just, you know,
Like you're sucking that shit up through your fucking pores.
fuck. And you breathe it out, and then you're like, your mind's like, all right, fucking, exhale, just breathe. And you're just breathing in this fucking smoke. You're breathing in more smoke.
fucking breathe.
So it's like, god damn, and the fucking bong is still there. So that smoke is coming up. Fuck.
I just like, can you open up that window right there?
Yeah, bro. That was me the first time. Like, bro, get the fan, bro. I'm like, get the fucking fan.
But guys, I think that I am done for this night. I am fucking drained, tired.
No worries, man. It's a good time. Anyways.
Sounds good, man. You have a good night, David.
You guys do know if you guys want to say anything before we end it.
Well, I mean, if y'all like what y'all see, then you can help us out by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with whoever you know.
Yep, as well. Another time on the Peace Pipe Podcast. Thanks for coming and sharing your time with us.
Mm-hmm.
If you like to subscribe, and David?
Yeah, subscribe, like, comment, tell us some topic you want us to talk about. We'll cover that topic, and until next time, we will see everyone in the next one.